I went to the rodeo, and honestly, I would not do it again. They had given my husband free tickets, and two people gave him their tickets as well because so it was for all the workers, and because they said that you know they had plans already, or they can get into the rodeo anytime they want for free, so they didn't need the free tickets. So I'm so glad my son decided not to go. We were going to pay for his ticket. So we thought, we've never done this before, but we thought that you are actually going to go into a rodeo. It's done at Energy Stadium, which I remember going there for my son's graduation. It was indoors. When we got there, the carnival was outside. There were four buildings I didn't even know existed there. And inside those buildings were the animals, and the front building was the actual rodeo. And they told us we can go into the rodeo with the ticket, even though we couldn't see the concert, because they always do a concert. Marshmallow was playing. I've seen him before. I don't know what he. Never heard him before. My son tells me he's a DJ, and my daughter told me he was a DJ. But anyway, the place was massive, and it was outrageously expensive. And we were gonna rent a scooter, but they were $65, which I thought was crazy. My husband is pushing my. I was 380. I lost a couple of pounds, but I got a hold of some Girl Scout cookies, so I'm pretty sure I'm back to 380. But yeah, it's like I've heard. My sister even told me this, that our fat cells have memory in them, and even though I don't have the big hanging belly, somehow my body's back up to that, and it's very frustrating. And plus, I love my bread. So I know that's one of the big issues. Anyway, he had to push me all over the place, and we did not realize how massive it was. Tickets for the carnival to get on the rides was $50 for 100 tickets, which isn't bad. You're getting 50 cents per ticket. And they told us some rides were like up to 30 tickets, and other rides might be as little as 8. Um, it was it wasn't that bad. I found out it was the last weekend, and it wasn't that bad because we got there at 2 in the afternoon, so the lines weren't bad. It wasn't really that crowded, but I knew because it was the last weekend by evening it would get crowded. But anyway, they told us we could go into the rodeo with these tickets, and my husband wants to look at animals and cows and I wanted to go into the actual rodeo, and it was just going back and forth was a nightmare for him. And I had to get up and down from I have the wheelchair. I cannot, my arthritis is too bad to walk. I can walk for maybe 5-10 minutes at most. So because the pain is horrible, and then that pulled muscle in my inner thigh, it was so I was able to go into one of the rides, and which is just the Ferris wheel. I wanted to go into, it was like a closed in Ferris wheel. That was all the way at the beginning though, and that one was the one that was $30 a ticket. But I wish we had done that because we still had like 15 tickets. I think 15 tickets left over, and had we done that, all three of us, we would have been done with the tickets. So no, 30 tickets left over. So it was, anyway, we got into a different one. I had to climb, and with arthritis in your hips and knees, that isn't easy. It was horrible getting in there. It was, my legs didn't fit there. My husband's legs didn't fit there. So anyway, it was really hard getting in. It was just I think it was too small. But me, my daughter, my husband did it. My hat flew away. It was greasy foods everywhere, which there's no way I was eating that. I would have been sick to my stomach. But one of the things I noticed was my eyes were burning, and I don't know if it was from the grease that was maybe in the air. It was really rough going back and forth. Then there was the slingshot. You had to pay separate for that. And my daughter did it, and they're prodding my husband, trying to make him feel like a coward if he didn't get on. But he was already gonna go on anyway with my daughter. That was $30 a ticket, $30 or $35 a ticket. It was ridiculous. But my daughter really wanted to do it. This is our first time there. I said, let's just go ahead and do it. And my daughter and my husband did it, and I even filmed that. They wanted you to pay extra. They'd have a camera inside the slingshot, but it's another $25. I'm like, no, forget it. But anyway, so they did that, and then while we were on the Ferris wheel, we noticed there was a Greek restaurant. So I'm like, okay, let's do the Greek restaurant. That's healthier. It's not going to be greasy fried food. It was ridiculous. I should have asked the prices first. It was $84 for two gyros. They were small gyros too, and a gyro platter and 3 drinks. That was, I almost died. So I'm like, this is horrible. I would never come back. And so I wanted to get into, I'm telling my husband wanted to see all the animals. I just wanted to get into the rodeo. I go to the front, and I said, can somebody, we go to the front, can somebody please tell us, I didn't even know how to get in there. And there were people already online, and I think they said that we were allowed at first, but then they're saying they don't think so. It's just to get on the grounds. And I think that's what the line was for. I think they said the rodeo didn't start till 6 anyway. I'm like, oh my, like, what the heck? Anyway, we finally found out where I said, if we're going to see animals, I want to see the baby animals. After going back and forth in this massive place, they said, oh yeah, it's all the way down there. And we're walking and walking. Oh my God, and the lines for the bathroom. Some women took pity on me and let me get ahead of them because, they saw me in the wheelchair, saw me struggling to get up. Oh my goodness. I think the getting up and down really messed up my body. Trying to climb into the Ferris wheel and the squeezing in there, and my legs didn't fit. My knee was killing me. But we're walking. Finally, I don't know how long we walked. We finally find the building. This is how massive this place was for the baby animals. We get into that building, and we're like, oh, we're here to see the baby animals? All the way at the back of the building, and we're walking and walking. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I think if I would have known, I would have went ahead and gotten bit the bullet and gotten the scooter rental. But oh yeah, parking was the easiest part. That was the thing that had us most scared, and it was the easiest part because we have handicap plates, which that has to be approved by a doctor, and that was the easiest part. And usually parking is $40, but it was only $20 if you're handicapped. So that was like the easiest part, is getting around, and the first time you don't know what's going on, and the food. And I think my daughter wanted, she always likes to, every time she goes to one of these things, she likes to try the what's that thing called, funnel cake. $12. I'm like, wow. We went out for Christmas 2 years ago, to Galveston. I think it was less than 10. That's just outrageous. But anyway, we finally saw the baby animals, and we were done. And when we got out, we exited the building. We were all the way out in the back of the parking lot. I didn't even know that. This place was massive. So my husband's like, look, we're exhausted. Can we get on the tram? And they were like, well, we're not going to the front. We're going to the middle or something. And he's like, anything, because he's pushing me, and my daughter has a bad hand, and because I think she has some cysts in her hand, and they even fitted her for like I don't even know what these things are called, but anyway, a splint, but it just made her feel worse. But anyway, so it was a lot, and so I couldn't get on the tram because it was too high for me to get on. That's how bad my arthritis is, and I fell right on my knee, and I already have busted knees. So as they were filling it up, they said, why don't you try the other side, because the ground isn't level on the other side. So with my husband's help, I get on that. I just held on to his neck, and I was able to pull myself up while holding on to a pole. But my knee, oh my goodness, my knee was shot. So that got us to the middle, and by the time we got back, it was already 6. It was packed. The lines had tripled, if not quadrupled. I'm like, oh no. So there's no way we were gonna use our last 30 tickets. I was so mad. Thank goodness we didn't know that one coupon is good for everybody. One ticket is good for everybody, and we were gonna buy a smaller one. And I'm so glad that we didn't. Anyway, trying to get out of there with that crowd was absolutely ridiculous. By the end of it, I had to walk. My husband was helping me walk because we just couldn't we were at the entrance and we couldn't get right there to the exit. We had the crowd was horrible. So my daughter was pushing the wheelchair while my husband was helping me walk to the exit. And then from the exit, I was able to sit down and go to the car. Getting out of there was another nightmare. They had blocked off a lot of the parking lot, so we were stuck. People had to back up, and finally they told us go down that road, and that was blocked off, but there was an attendant there, so he unblocked it, and we were finally able to leave. But I tell you, I would never ever do that again. I think it was too crowded, it was too expensive, it just, I wouldn't, the massiveness of that place, I wouldn't do it again, ever. We did it once, that's it, we're done, we experienced it. That is it. That was horrible for me, for all of us. It was bad. And the next day, I don't know, it was from getting up and down, climbing on this, climbing on that, but the next day, my daughter, we were all feeling it. My daughter was saying that her body really felt run down, and my heart, the AFib, was acting up. And I'm like, it wasn't like I was doing a lot of walking. Why? I guess it was getting up and down, and climb into this and climb into that. And I guess that's what, did it. Because when I go to the bathroom, I get up and I use the restroom and I come back out. So I had to go to the restroom twice. So I don't know if it was all of that, but the next day my heart was palpitating for the whole weekend. I was like, then Monday I was doing better. And the only thing I can think of is I was trying out some new cholesterol pills, so I stopped taking them. Monday I was doing better, and then we had to go do groceries, and when I got back from groceries, it happened again, and I was like, all night, I was thinking, I might drive myself to the hospital, to the emergency room. I just kept praying to God to protect me, but I don't get it. I was taking all my pills regularly. I had, about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, I was taking half an Elavil. I had to go to a full Elavil. I usually only take 1.5 milligram a day, and I was taking 2. I don't know what happened. My eyes have been dried out since then. I know it's spring. I don't know if it also has to do with, the pollen in the air, but I woke up with a runny nose this morning, and I don't feel sick. I just woke up with a runny nose. My eyes are dried out, burning. So I don't know what triggered all of this. My body, my kidneys were hurting, my liver was hurting. My whole body felt like it had been run over by a truck. So I really don't know what triggered this. I just know that this happened when we got back from the rodeo. Finally, I was feeling better yesterday. Finally, I didn't have any palpitations or anything. So, so I don't know what that was, but that's the reason why I didn't get my video up until Tuesday, because I just was not feeling well. Like I said, I woke up with a runny nose this morning. I was like, dang, I want to do my video and I got a runny nose. What's happening? But, it stopped. I don't know what's going on. Maybe an hour after I took my allergy pill, it stopped running. So I'm like afraid to open up the back door. We usually open it up, to get a mild cool breeze or some air. But I was afraid to because of my nose running. So anyway, so yeah, that was the rodeo.